Go now to DryerBuzz.com and follow at DryerBuzz on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all about the buzz.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, listen. Okay, there's going to be some new people on here, and I have got some questions. I got a bunch of questions today, and I just sat quietly and I'm like, let me get this started. Can I just tell y'all? And first of all, let me say, I'm Yolanda at DryerBuzz. If you've never seen or heard this podcast before, we just went live on four different places. Went live now in four different places, and then by the time it becomes a podcast, it'll be a couple of other hundred places. So you may or may not get to participate in a two-way conversation, but I am very responsive. So if you leave me a comment, let me know that you heard it live, or if you caught a replay, or if you catch the podcast. And the way to do that is to go to DryerBuzz.com. And from there, you're going to see all the different places. You can choose one. We're everywhere, like everybody. So let me know. I need to know. And because one of the things I know when I'm out and about, people tell me where they listen, what they do. And I got a question. And I talk fast, number one. I cover a lot of territory, number two. But this how to get out of bed has become pretty much the best thing ever. You know why I know it's the best thing ever? I just got up and I had to go find my headset, right? I had to go find my headset. I came back into the room and the dog was like, he was still laying down. He just kind of looked up like, wait, is it that time? What time is it? Like, why are you up? Because I'm up a little bit earlier we're getting out of bed a little bit earlier. So I got a question, and because I think I might be able to commit to a time slot. I think I might be able. So we're gonna try it. I'm not gonna say it just yet. But we're gonna try to see how it flows. Because fall is coming and getting ready to kind of bring a little bit more order to the day. I know school started, and one only because I've decided that, like, yesterday I had to get up. I think the last 2 days I had to jump up and head out into the morning. I had a full bank of errands to run yesterday, and I was like, let me do something in the morning so I'll make sure I'm up. And I'm like, I don't have the attention span to be on the road with commuters. I love having the road to myself. I've always had the road to myself. I've always had enough flexibility where I could get on the road at any time I want to. So I'm like, let me figure this thing out. So I do want to bring going into the fall, because this is book 2. We did book 1 already. Book 1 meaning journal. 90 episodes. Prior to this, we're now in the countdown. I don't want to count each one. I don't, because, hey, I'm counting days here. This is a daily. I do this. If I'm giving the breath of life, there's a podcast coming. If not one, maybe two. Because that's what I do each and every day, all day, is I produce podcasts. And today I am going to also start the writing of, I say that because it's already kind of written in my head. I'm going to put down on paper. I'm going to put down digitally. Digitally, I'm going to put down another 27 answers, and it's called 27 Answers How to Rock a Podcast. Because when I go into the podcast groups and people are asking all these different questions, there's a sense of it, me. There's still some answers there. People can tell you all the technical stuff you need and so forth, but I can tell you how to make it buzzy. I can tell you how to make it something that everybody's listening to every day. I can tell you how to command an audience, how to find your audience. And because that's what people ask me. And when people ask me stuff and I find myself answering, the dog is looking like, okay, she's consistently talking. It must be podcast time. Miss Me and I must need to go. So I can tell you how to command attention, and so forth. And so how to become a household name, basically, which is something that I did 17 years ago for DryerBuzz.com, and a couple of years ago just for myself being behind DryerBuzz.com, and just a year ago with In the Kitchen with DryerBuzz, right? For DryerBuzz break. I know everything. I'm not trying to be hell yeah, I am. I'm trying to be the Tyler Perry of the digital world. Okay? I was thinking about Tyler the other day. And one of the very first interviews we did back in 2003, I think we sat down with Tyler Perry. And so Tyler had a vision then that I'm still watching it come to fruition. and we'll talk about some of those things. That's one of the things that I have, and one of the reasons I can come to you in a day. You're like, how do you have enough stuff to talk about to do a daily podcast? Like I said, 17 years I have talked with. I have, how do you say it? Listen to the stories, transcribe the stories of so many people who are out here doing what so many other people want to do and don't realize they can do. I also want to say this, and our podcast today is going to be called Sharing. What we do is like I said, this is a journaling moment. So I have a journal right here next to the device, and I like to write down kind of word clouds. Some people take copious notes. I like to just kind of create a word cloud of some of the thoughts that we have. And I want to say this because there's some news items that happened yesterday. There's some things that happened to personal friends and so forth. I have never spent a day sharing how to get out of bed, title, links, as much as I had to yesterday. I've never, when I'm only saying never, I've never responded to so much that I've seen. And we see this stuff each and every day. It goes down. I need to turn my television off the news so I won't get distracted. Let me turn the TV off. I've never responded in such a way because although I have known this to be a wonderful vehicle and it's helped me, but to know that it really does help others in just witnessing the fact that each and every day I can pull it together enough, be in my creative journey, order my steps, listen to my guardian angels, live a calling, throw out some things that I'm passionate about. Having witnessed that across my journey are now saying it helps them. I might not push this button and say what it is exactly you need to hear. I'm not a therapist. I'm not trying to play one on digital podcast, live stream, any of that. I do know several. I interview several, and I ask questions of them. I've not yet sat directly on anybody's couch, but I know a lot of them. But yesterday, and I think yesterday was just one of those days where everybody was saying, listen, and I love the fact that people were saying, because that's what's needed. Because people are watching. People know. Can I tell y'all something? You already know. Every time something happens, there is someone faces their demise, or there are tragic stories, mass shootings, certain people hauled off to jail. There are always these people that will say they had an inclination, or they exhibited this kind of behavior. It was a quiet neighborhood, but we always thought they were over there doing this, that, the other. There are all these people outside of your journey that know everything that's going on with you. And yet they didn't tell anybody. They didn't intervene. And so yesterday, rather than scrolling past, and it's not something I would tag anybody in. But if I saw a person having a discussion about this, that, or the other, I would just say, hey, listen, check out How to Get Out of Bed Daily. Now, mind you, there's some How to Get Out of Bed Dailies that should really have been the food podcast, should really have been the Buzz It or Bash It podcast, and in any of the Leading Women podcasts, which are 3 of the podcasts I produce each week, or any other content. Should have been a blog. There's some How to Get Out of Beds that should have been a full-on blog post. There's some How to Get Out of Beds that sure on my part have been a full-on doctor's visit, therapist visit. But this is my outlet. Pushing this button. I pay for these apps that I use professionally, and I keep them going, even though I hate every time some of those payments come through. I know y'all think everything on social media is free. Not if you want to go pro, right? Like right now, I'm like live on YouTube. I'm live on Periscope. I'm live on 2 Facebook pages, okay? That's a pro thing, right? And so I pay for that, and I pay for that because those are the platforms. That's how I want to deliver your story. But in trying to help deliver your story, and I work with a number of businesses, entrepreneurs, and all these things, and trying to help them create buzz. And then I go out there and I get them buzzing like, hey, listen, I set up this radio interview, TV interview. Hey, I got this whole junket for you. And then they go like, I can't get out of bed. It's just a bad day. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. But see, I understand. Hey, listen, I understand. So when I saw a good actor friend of mine saying they're feeling a little bit down, when I know, wait a minute, aren't you in Atlanta in the great one of the greatest film festivals happening right there? Well, maybe they're a little bit down because maybe they didn't know. Maybe they're not. I know how seeing this stuff on your social media can take you out. I know that. So I was like, oh wait, let me just drop how to get out of bed, and guess what I got? A thank you. I see a friend of mine. They look like another friend. They have these ups and these downs. What y'all call them? Ebbs and flows, right? They going good. They're going good, and all of a sudden, they're ghosting. We all do it. We all do it. My job right here now is to tell you, we all do it. We all do. We all can't go to everything. We all can't be up just because it's the sun came up. There's some things that lie dormant in us. And they're triggers that we all dealing with each and every day. I'm just here to tell you, everybody goes through it. Everybody goes through it. And oftentimes you may go through a little bit longer simply because somebody hasn't shared something with you. I've been there. Just went through five. I'm still running around here saying 4 years, 4 years. I'm like, how come I feel older than that? Because it's been 5 years, right? I'm running around here and I'm like, I wouldn't be here today if somebody didn't say, stop. Hey, wait, what's going on with you? What's going on over there? Wait, what is going, because I'm ghosting here and I'm doing this and I'm trying to hold it all together. And it's like, no, that's not how you do this. You don't just hold it all in. You let it out. Somebody stopped me one day and said, no, you let it out. I mean, like, do y'all know there's some people walking around this earth that'll just like walk up on you, don't know you from Job or none of that, and will say things to you like, like divine intervention. 2 days ago, 48 hours ago, I was like, man, I need this to work out. And I get to the place, and the place was closed. Closed. Oh, we closed early. Okay, we're not going to let anybody know, but we closed early. And I'm like, no, this thing got to be fixed right now. It's got to be fixed right now. Ma'am, are you trying to? Yes. Okay, well, no worries. Let me see this. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, you're done. I'm prepared to like give all my struggles and all this stuff. They was like, no worries. Hasta mañana. I'm like, that means tomorrow. You're good. Where'd you come from? Right? Listen, they drop in, y'all. People drop in with everything you need, but you got to do what? Spew it out there. You got to put it out there. Stop holding it. I said, listen, I need this to work out. Boom, ma'am. Are you trying to? Yes. Let me see. Here. You got a day. You got 24 hours. Come on, let's go back into the day. Right? But he said I had 24 hours. You know what that meant? That meant 24 hours ago. You think I woke up procrastinating? I'm like, no, I got to go get this done. Walked in. Okay, yeah, we heard about this. Yeah, you good. Who was he? Who was that man? I'm telling you. Oh yeah, we got you. He took a picture of it and then got it done. I walk in there like, oh yeah, you good. Boom, 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 boom. Bam. Who? I have no idea. Cause I'm telling you, had he not walked up on me, I'd have been one of those boohoo crying right there in that parking lot. Like I have burned all of the God-given ordained time I had to deal with this stuff. Right? I'm like, because you already know I procrastinate. Anybody and everybody that knows me, I got a lunch date in a matter of hours. I woke up thinking like, dang, it's Friday already. I ain't got no more excuses. You got to go, girl. You just. And then I remembered, dang, I forgot to click the RSVP link. And I already told y'all, follow up is my flaw. I tell you all the time, how to get out of bed is the one thing that I have done well for the past couple of months, right? I'm telling you, follow up is my flaw. It's everybody. Listen, and one thing that I have learned, I'm never the only one. Somebody's out there, right? Yep, me too. I can't see the comments right now, but somebody is saying me too. But you know what, y'all? We get more time. We get another day. People love to say tomorrow's not promised. It's not. But if you get it, what you gonna do with it? I just got it. Breath of life. That's the breath of life. Guess what? Oh, let me get this podcast in because that's what I asked for. Another day, another podcast, and everybody that I tag, I didn't tag. There were conversations on their page, and I said, you know what? Been there, been there. We've been here before. How to get out of bed, and it says how to get out of bed daily. How to get out of bed daily. Because I'm gonna tell you, when we got to 90 episodes, that was our extra strategy. Okay, shut it off, shut it down. Go do the next. Go do the next. And I'm like, no. You know what? I need that. I need to grab this journal and this pen and write down some stuff. And I hadn't written that. I wrote down sharing. I'm gonna share. I'm gonna say aloud. The first time we did this, in the first 90 episodes, we each one of these things ended with talking about opportunities, and each one talked about being free. I think this one is going to book two has it's this fear that we have. We're so afraid. You know what? We're afraid, and let me tell you what mine is. Trust. I can look back over 17 years of doing this. And I know the one issue that I had, because I was never fearful, I was never afraid. I was loud. Everything I wanted, I said aloud. And I built a reputation. If I'm in the room, she gonna get her answer. And I know I intimidate the hell out of people. I do, because they may have a certain way they want to do stuff, and I'm like, that ain't even how it's done. I don't. Let me tell y'all, I had to learn to just be quiet. Just be quiet. I have to, and I know it's shocking when I am around people and I am quiet. And I am quiet. Yeah, I only do it every so many years, right? Because I love a cycle. I love a good cycle. This is that year where I am quiet. When I'm out and about, I am quiet, and I shock the hell out of people because I'm loud online, right? I'm always talking. I always got something to say, and people know that I drop nuggets. Oh, she's gonna tell us how this year. When I go places, I am the quietest person in the room. You want something out of me, you better ask. But for the most part, when I am out and about, I am quiet. But this is my year to just kind of listen and watch. But it's been my reputation, especially being a blogger. It's people anticipate that I am going to have the opposing opinion. And I don't always have the opposing opinion. And a lot of people look to me like if I'm in the room, they know that they know what I truly believe because it's all out there. And if they know that what I believe substantiates what they believe, then they definitely want me to co-sign. And I'm sitting there like, okay. Everybody, y'all on your own. Y'all are on your own. I went to an event the other day. Thought I was credentialed. Turned out I wasn't. But anyway, I was like, hey, listen, what am I going to do? There's an empty spot right there. I'm going to just stand right there. You need me out, you just tell me. But that's where I'll be. Because I need to get this sound bite from this person. Y'all got coming on this carpet, right? And, and so I don't know what and I ain't gonna even call it a rumor. Facts are, I'm just not, y'all, I'm difficult. I can be deemed, not difficult, I can be deemed, what's the word? Determined. I'm determined, okay? Because, I'm just determined. I'll write that down. Right? I'm determined. And I'm known. I am known, even though I think nobody knows me and I think I'm incognito and I'm thinking I'm just quietly in a corner. You hear your name whisper, people pointing, waving, and all that kind of stuff, right? Because I really love trying to find places I can go where nobody knows me, right? Especially when I'm trying to do something different. Like I'm trying to become the nice one, from the determined one. Because I'm not mean, but, that's just my reputation. If she's in the room, she came to get something, and people will say, did you get what you need? Because especially PR people who know me. Now I know Atlanta has, everybody has got a business card these days, and every now and again things change, and all these historic organizations and things like that, they try something new, they try a new crew, okay? A new crew trying to get their feet wet because they done came in under the budget. with all their volunteers as opposed to paid staff. And the people out there going, amen. And they trying to break in and all that kind of stuff. They hadn't been around forever. They don't know that this Atlanta and old school. And I ain't mad at that at all. Because I'm on another level as myself, and I'm like going in and trying to like listen. Hey, I understand it. And I try not to get. I'm that person. I ain't finna mess this up for you. I'm not trying to get in anybody's way with it, right? The dog and I are both looking because we thought we heard a door. But anyway, so I'm not trying to stop anybody's flow, but don't stop mine. And one of the things I think that we do is, and this is where I see a lot of people when they can't get out of bed, is there are people who do go out there with the mindset that they're going to stop a flow. There are people who do go out there with the mindset that they're going to intimidate people. There are people who are trying to be loud and they're wrong. Loud and wrong is the worst combination ever, right? There are people who are trying to misorder your steps. There are people who are trying to block your blessing. You got to recognize those people, because what happens is when you can't clearly recognize that and you don't have clear enough vision. I thought I heard somebody. Okay. All right. The dog and I was like, wait, we heard something. My daughter just rolled through. So there are people who are intentionally doing those things, right? But what happens is running into those, and if you are on a mission, if you are on your grind, if you have a dream, if you have a hope, if you're trying to accomplish anything, yes, you're going to encounter those people, and it's going to affect your trusting, right? But what happens is when you let it override your trusting, when you let it override your blessing, when you let it override those who are there to help you keep it moving and going forward, that's when the problem comes in. That's when the days get long. That's when the days get dark. That's when you start feeling like you're not doing enough. That's when you start feeling like that thing that you want and desire is not for you. You're going to face some resistance. We are going to face some resistance because oftentimes we are that first resistance. There's so much, whatever people are saying out there, there's so much of it echoing in your head. Like, listen, you know how to stop an echo? You feel the space. You stop an echo because you feel the space. I remember growing up, man, there used to be echoes everywhere. There used to be places in the neighborhood, man, we could go and we could yell and we could scream. Like the mall. You ever notice like there's all this noise in the mall? Like you first take kids to the mall, first thing they do, they realize their voice has an echo. Kids are that loud because they don't get to be that loud like a lot of places. Like they're discovering their sound. They're discovering all these decibels they could be at, right? And I remember growing up, I mean, man, there were echoes everywhere. You go to a person's house and it's empty, or you watch a person's live stream or a podcast. And you're like, it's kind of an echo over there, right? Like I'm in a room, like there's not a lot of stuff on the walls in here. It's supposed to, if I was in the other room or in the kitchen with all that stuff, right? You'd have an echo. The way to get rid of that echo, that stuff that's in your head, you got to fill the space. Oh, write that down. Echo, right? You got to fill the space. And so if you are one of the people, many people that yesterday probably looking at the page that I tagged, and you're like, wait a minute, she's live. Because if you like the page that I tagged, you probably got a notification that I'm live. And you're getting a chance to hear how this thing works for the first time, even though you're on my friends list. Because I know there's no way I could tag strangers, right? Even though you're on my friends, but you may not have needed, you may not have seen it. Zuckerberg all up in between our friendships. He gets like that, Even though we've opted into being friends, Zuckerberg will let us go an entire decade without seeing each other's comment. I'm trying to find a lawyer. I need a lawyer to take that on. Because I'm so mad. I had a quote unquote a Facebook friend that had a tremendous loss last week, and I go to see friendship because I was like, why am I seeing all of this turmoil that they're having? Well, one, you do How to Get Out of Bed daily podcast, so Facebook has decided, well, wait, that you might need to see what's going on with your friend. But then I go to the see friend, and I'm like, man, we created the friendship 10 years ago, a whole decade ago, and I haven't seen anything of their posts, and it says that they haven't seen any of mine. Who does that? Facebook. So, but to get rid of that echo, to get rid of those voices, those negative things, if you want to turn it all around, you got to fill the space. What do you fill the space with? I can tell you to go find something positive. That's so generic. That's absolutely so generic. Like for me right now, some things that I want to. You know what I did? I went back over to Twitter, and I started looking at some things. And I'm like, I need to see this, and I need to see this differently. I went on. I found a couple of websites. I got to go somewhere where I've never been. So like events, I got to find an event that I've never been. Right. I'm getting ready to do some other things, and I'm like, well, I've been doing it this way for so long. How are they doing it now? So I started following. Some different people. I started going and listening to some different podcasts. And it's like, what? How do you say? Like, the thing that I know how to do? How do I say it now? Because it's totally different. Pulled out the old resume, and I'm like, I gotta. Whoa, Jesus, all that old verbiage. Because like I hadn't had to use it in a long time, 12 years. I hadn't had to have a resume in pretty much 12 years. I didn't even have to have it then. The last job I had, I didn't even apply for it. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, this is how things work. I had a job for 7 years. That was the longest that I have ever in my life worked a job. And I'm old, okay? But this particular job, I didn't even apply for it. In fact, I was told, there was a company that was trying to impress a company, and they was like, hey, listen, go do this for us. And I was like, okay, cool. It went, go sit in on this training, right? They got a 4-week training. Girl, go do that training, because I'm a creative, I'm a writer, and we always looking for ways to finance what we do, right? So they were like, there's a company, I'm trying to get this business. And it wasn't even like that. It was like, I was assigned to, I was contracting. I always contract, creatives contract. We contract, we freelance, right? And they were going after this contract. And they was like, listen, we got something that's doing a 4-week training, 4-week paid training. Let me say that. They're doing a 4-week paid training. And I was like, hey, let me try it. So I went. And I was like, wait, this is work? You just like come and you get to sit like here for like 8 hours and they give you all this stuff? Like, wait, how have I been missing out on this all this time trying to be this entrepreneur and all that kind of stuff? So, honey, I didn't just stay for the 4-week training. I stayed for 7 years, y'all. And it's so fun. Let me tell you, on the first day, I was late. I didn't even have to interview. They were like, because because I live on reputation. I live by reputation. And part of my reputation is I'm late. I got there late, and the lady was like so frustrated. And I know this lady to this day, and she's on my timeline to this day. After I left, after 7 years, I stopped blocking her because I'm like, I work with y'all. Like, y'all ain't gonna be on my friends list. And I remember when I left, she goes, can I be on your friends list now? You don't work for me no more. I was like, okay, cool. So anyway, but I went in the first day of training, and I was like, well, cool, sit here, get paid. I blogged in between and all that kind of stuff because, that was my life. And I was like, man, this is too cool. I'm going to just hang around. I'm going to do it for a year. I'm going to do it for 2 years. 3, 4, 5, 6. At 7 years, they was like, listen. Okay. The company is changing. Things are changing. Literally, they were like, you got to go. I mean, that's literally what I was told. Like, you need to get out of this cubicle. You gotta go. It was literally that kind of. I swear to you. And let me tell you, it hadn't been a day since. Can I come back yet? I'm telling you. First of all, the first way to get me out of there, they put me in another training program 7 years later. Not even a training program, but a mastermind. At that time, they were calling them masterminds, right? That's what I said. Language changed. Mastermind. I went to the mastermind, and they were like, well, people should aspire to do this, do that, do that. I was like, I did that. They were like, we did that when? I did that while I was working here. That's my side hustle. That's my outside life. When I leave here, I go to a world stage. When I leave here, I experience some of the greatest technology out there. They was like, well, why don't you do it here? Well, it's above my pay grade. That's not what y'all paid me for, right? I create some of the greatest publicity campaigns for companies. I make household names, right? Y'all don't even have that as a job description. Okay, I'm just saying. There was no place to go with that. So then they said I was experiencing some burnout. And I was, because at that time, my family structure changed. I stayed that my kids were grown, coming, finishing getting off into their careers and all this kind of stuff. And my mother's health was failing. And it was like, maybe I think you take some time off. And I took some time off. They gave me a 30-day leave, none paid. And I was like, oh, I like this. I went back. And he said, why are you back? And because, I can't tell y'all all the opportunities and things. I could tell y'all, just I can't list them all the amazing things that happened to me in that 30 days. And we talk about trust. I did not trust it. Because, when you get comfortable somewhere, you trust nothing else. When you write that down, when you feel the space, and let me tell you, it comes. And then you get comfortable, nothing else compares with being comfortable. Nothing compares with being comfortable. Right? I swear to you, comfortable feels good. And you hear people, you see people post and talk about this all day, their comfort zone, how something takes them out of their comfort zone. I got to step out of my comfort zone today. But I have come to the point where every time I say that, I want to know, well, why isn't that part of my comfort zone? Why is not my comfort zone a little bit wider than that? Why does everything have to bring us out of our comfort zone? And that's what I've been working with. And that's what I was thinking about with book 2. I'm like, doing the podcast is part of my comfort zone, but it wasn't just part of my comfort zone because it's uncomfortable pushing this button and coming on here and having these conversations, because there are those that are trying to put these echoes in my head. Well, how dare you? Who are you? People will boldly ask you, who do you think you are? Let me tell you, get your talking points together and tell them if they're worthy of knowing. If you think you can move them, because sometimes you like let them answer. Sometimes I'll tell them, I'll let you answer that. Who do you think I am? Because when you ask them, sometimes the stuff that they actually say is probably thoughts. They have better thoughts of you than you have of yourself. That's your response to that. When somebody says, who do you think you are? Who do you think I am? They're going to tell you, because they're so glad to have your attention, right? They're so glad to have your focus. Well, I thought you were this, that, and other. And you're going like, damn, I never thought of myself like that. See the dog there? They done got the dog all excited and he wants to bark. So, that's life, y'all. I'm telling you, they will tell you who they think you are. And worse than that, they'll tell your greatest friend, your worst friend, pretending to be your greatest friend. Sometimes you have to ask them. Let me tell you one thing I cannot stand, and I don't know too many of them. For somebody to come to you and say somebody said something like, because my response to that is, how'd they get your ear? Why was it up for discussion? I've had many people over the years. I left for press. Let me tell you, I wrote up in this press conference one time. And I knew because anytime I go into a space, I know what it is I need. I get what I need and I go. And later on, somebody says, when you left, everybody was asking, who was she? Who was she? Who did she think she was? Who was she? Right? Because I had changed the entire order of the day. Right? I had a top movie company thinking like, wait, are we doing this wrong? They wanted to, who was she? Because they came with a narrative and they were like, well, this is what it is. And I'm like, no, that's not really what it is. Why aren't you? And I literally had a question. And why aren't you competing with this, that, and the other? Because, they had all these negative things to say about something else. And I was like, why y'all saying that? Why aren't you just competing? Why aren't you just doing this, that, and the other? And one of my absolute most favorite people were in the room, and it was for him. And, hell, he saw me when I came and he knew what it was going to be. So he was like glad I was there, because I pushed the narrative of something that he had been trying to get this movie company to do for a while. I got what I needed and I was gone. I didn't need to linger around. But when I got ready to go, when I later ran into a person, I don't know how they got my attention, but they said, when you left here, I was asking who was she, who did you think you were? I said, who did they think I was? And she told me what they said, and I was like, well, damn. I didn't know I had that kind of power. I didn't know I left the room and was still the topic of a conversation, because I left. I went on about my business. I got other things to do. But that's what, be open to it. Listen, let me ask you, who do you think you are? And if you want me to know who I think you are, inbox me. I'll tell you. Because what I might tell you is probably going to be greater than you really think you are. The world is only responding to you in the way that it is because you are greater than you think you are. You're only getting so much resistance where you are because you should have moved on by now. On to better, not back. Don't be somewhere thinking something ain't yours. This ain't for you. You bit off too much. Have you ever seen a person bit off too much? Look, spit it out, break it down. And if the people around you don't like you spitting it out, you might be, look, hey, I'm just saying, this is not a thing. Don't try and swallow it all down. Spit it out. Let me break this down so I can really truly eat this. So I can really truly digest this. Y'all, you got nothing but days, chances, opportunity. If you want to be comfortable, let me tell you, because there's 1% out there, and I don't even know if they're truly comfortable, because I had my prize set on this 1%, and I was like, man, they're comfortable. They're just unbothered. There were the people that I had on my list to be unbothered. I had a list, and I don't even want to say their names no more. This is how my list was. I had a list of people. I'm like, that's what I want to be. I want to be that unbothered. All this stuff going on in the world, I want to be at a position to where I can move myself from it, remove myself from it each and every time. And then last thing I know, they bothered as hell. And I'm like, oh, I got to scratch them off the list. I've had to scratch the list, y'all. I don't even know who's on the list right now. Because especially in the world of social media, as you can tell, everybody's bought you. You see these people on here, they on these platforms and telling all their business. Look, I'm like, man, do we need to, don't even need to, you never need to even interview anybody. All you got to do is, like, you want to do a story on somebody, just go look at their timeline. Like, really? Like, I watched the interview the other day, like let's talk, and I'm not gonna say anything. I was watching this interview of this person, and I was like, man, they would respond to all the things that people have said and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, wow, man, that's a whole story. What do I want to do with that? I'm telling you, y'all, today, where are we? We're 36 into this. 36, we're going to wrap it up. We try to do at least less than 45. All I want to do is tell you, don't be afraid to share what's going on with you, good, bad, and indifferent. Okay, especially the buzz. You've got to share. You just got to. You've got to say it out loud. You've got to put it out there. Even if you put it out there to the wrong person, the right people are going to witness it. Like I said yesterday, 48 hours ago, I rode up on this place. There were other people out there. I guess, minding their business, about to witness a black woman have a clear-on breakdown in this park. Okay, there were plenty of people out there. Thank God for the one guy. There was two guys. There was two divine interventions. Because when I pulled in, I was on the wrong side of the building. And dude leaned down, looked in the car window, because I guess he gets the sense like she knows she in the wrong spot. I rolled down the window because I could have not trusted him and been like, why is he looking in here, right? I rolled down the window. He said, and I asked him, I said, where is on the other side of the building, right? Go on, man. Direct me on around there to that guardian angel, right? I'm just saying, you got to trust something. Even if you wake up today, man, and say, man, I shouldn't have trusted none of that stuff yesterday. Because you're going to trust some of the wrong. Can I tell you, live long enough, you're going to trust some of the wrong people. Can I tell you also, it won't take you out. It might take you close, but it won't take you out. There's so much in this life that don't take us out. There's so much, y'all. And if you can't think about, if you're not in that space where because I know you want what you feel to stop. You want it to, like, I need this to just, like, chill for a minute. You can just say, listen, let me just catch my breath. Go and find your outlet. Find what you need. Find somebody, someone, even if it's a stranger, even if somebody you don't know. Have you ever, it's how the conversation starts. Have you ever, next thing you know, they go, yes, oh my God, okay, don't be around too many of those people. I'm just saying, just for your own clarification, that everybody goes through it, that everybody has these moments, right? I have a friend that, and I guess I can call this person a friend because I'm the kind of person that never asks for anything. So I have some friends, right? And so I see this person. Sometimes, they're doing some good stuff and they're on the road. And then the next time, they're like, it's a little bit different, right? That bitterness. There's a bitterness that comes from these cycles that we go through. And sometimes we have to bear the bitter. Ooh, write that down. Bear the bitterness, right? Like I definitely have a bitterness, but I'm glad I recognize it because I am bitter about the early days of technology. I'm bitter because, man, when you look at where we could be and you think, you absolutely know we could be so much further than we are. I was listening, and I consume stuff all day long. I listen and consume stuff all day long. But I was listening to one of the many pieces of content I listened to yesterday. They were talking about technology and some stuff, and I'm like, in the conversation, and I'm sitting there and I'm having to bear the bitterness of this conversation because I'm like, sadly, we oftentimes have to wait for the right people or the power or the masses. We have to wait for the masses to get to the conversation. There are what you have your thought leaders, your innovators, your pioneers, and then you have to sit and witness. Once the masses like I love how everybody was having the chicken. Like we just found out about the chicken sandwich, and then one person does the video talking about they've been eating the chicken sandwich for like 2 months, and all this kind of stuff. And then it came this other conversation. Man, I wish y'all supported your friends the way y'all supported that. But listen, everybody's out here trying to fit in. That chicken sandwich ain't about a chicken sandwich. Okay? It doesn't even taste that great. It's not amazing. That crunch, though, that crunch is like, what? That Popeye's crunch? Even though Popeyes, supposed to be Cajun, and I guess you have to get the spice. But the spicy is not like, it ain't like good spicy flavor. It's just pain. I don't understand when y'all be doing the spicy thing, right? I'm talking about everybody with the spicy. Like to me, spicy, because I just remember when, back in the day when the buffalo wing jumped off and came south, okay? When the real original buffalo wing came, like it wasn't like painful, like hot, like just like, like hot wings today. Like it wasn't like a pain, it was a flavor. It was like, man, it's got kick to it, but man, that's a good unique flavor. This what people call spicy today. This should be on the food podcast. It's like, but they still putting it out there though. So we did our taste test of the thing, but then here comes this person. They've been eating it for 2 months or whatever. I don't know where I was going. It's just I just wish people fix spicy. Like to me, spicy. First of all, spicy. I think spicy comes after the flavor. Like you're supposed to get this like real good burst of flavor, and you want to go in on it, and then next thing you know, your innards are heating up. Not and then it works its way outward as opposed to works its way in. Like you just enjoying it, and then you like go, whoa, what is that? And it's like this heat comes and hits the brain. And then next thing you know, your lips are on fire. But it's not like you bite it and your lips are on fire. You didn't have a chance to enjoy it, right? You want to get that thing down and then realize, oh, wait, that's hot. See, flavor, and I'm not saying this because I have a full-on kitchen series and a podcast. I'm just saying it's just what I've learned, what I recognize about food, what I enjoy about food, because all of that is a residual of what I enjoy about food. It still should have some flavor. It shouldn't just be painfully hot. It should have some flavor, right? Like, because otherwise you're just torturing yourself. And I know some people love to just kind of torture themselves. I don't know. So fix that. But yeah, the sandwich didn't have enough flavor for me. But I did love the and I did talk to a former Popeyes employee. I'm like, how they get that crunch? What are they doing? They got a wet and a dry. Oh, right. They're not just like dunking like, I'm just saying that crunch was something. Because, when you go get your other sandwich, it's like it's been in the bag. It might have been steamed up a little bit, that sweated, perspiring, and it's not as crunchy. That crunch was insane. I'm just saying. I know, yes. And let me tell y'all, if you do want to get that chicken, this podcast is going to end in time enough. If you're on the East Coast, y'all better be at that store at 10:30 when them chickens coming out of the grease and hot. I got mine at 10:30. Somebody said they open at 11. I'm sitting there, I'm rolled by. I'm like, wait, somebody going through the drive-thru. I'm like, let me go get my sandwiches. So anyway, yeah, we tried the sandwiches. Flavor-wise, it's missing. It's missing on the flavor. That's all I can say. I'm like, there was nothing. Once I took that first bite, that crunch was good, but there was nothing that said get another bite. Like, when you go to like the vegan place and get that burger and you bite it, because I'm telling you, it's all about the sauce. And I didn't understand the classic, like they already, like Popeyes, they put the mayonnaise on them, they put the mayo on the sandwich already. I thought that was a sauce. I didn't know that was like regular plain mayo. So, but that spicy mayo stuff is pretty good. So anyway, but bitterness, what are you dealing with right now? Are you comfortable? Is it bitterness, comfort zone? In the word cloud, I can look at the word cloud as we wrap up here at 9 seconds over. Sharing, allow, fear, afraid, trust, determined, echo. Echo. If things are starting to echo with you, that means you need to fill the space. You need to fill the space. That means you might feel depleted. Okay, go from being depleted back to being determined. Find something else that's gonna make you determined. You could be experiencing FOMO, and some of the comments, some of the places that I tagged how to get out of bed yesterday. Looking at your timeline, and I'm not diagnosing anybody. That's not what I do. From in my hindsight, it looks like FOMO. It looks like fear of missing out. It looks like you are missing out. And there's a way for you not to miss out. And you want to know how to get rid of that, because let me tell you, I just went through 5 years of freaking FOMO. Ask me, inbox me, and let's talk about that. Fear of missing out will send you down a dark wormhole. Fear of missing out will make you go ghost. You start ghosting, because I know people are saying it to you. Oh man, I thought I went to this, and I thought you're looking at everybody's timeline, and maybe time got away from you, maybe money got away from you, you weren't able to participate, or you're not there yet, or you did this and you thought it was going to lead to that. We all go through it. I'm just here to tell you we all go through it. I'm not here to tell you that, hey, today is the day gonna fix it all for you. I'm just here to tell you we all go through. We all go through with different seasons. But let me tell you what I love right now. The season is about to change, right? All I'm saying is it happens to us all. It happens to us all. And I know you are looking at, if you posted on your timeline, that means you probably saw something on somebody else's timeline. You like, that should have been me. It wasn't you. Don't go coveting. Don't go taking somebody else's blessing or thinking somebody else is living your life. It's just not this today. That wasn't your day. And you've had many days. Go over there on Facebook and look at your memories. Stop. We got to stop doing that. I don't know what you subscribe to, but in my book, it's a sin. So I'm like, and it's detrimental. It's detrimental to your health, right? It's detrimental to your mind. It depletes to the point this echo gets in it. Fill the space with your own things you've already done, your own accomplishments, your own dreams, your own goals, right? And today, these 24 hours, there's a lot of us on this planet. Everybody can't have today, right? So be willing to let somebody else have today. Be willing to let somebody else share the stage. Be willing to let somebody else step to the forefront, center stage, and you operate in the backspace for a minute, and whatever other analogy there is. Hell, the Falcons lost. I woke up looking for memes. I'm trying to ride this bandwagon, and I'm listening. And here, let me tell y'all something about this. Y'all get ready to do all this fantasy football stuff. This fantasy football is killing football. I just want you to know. Because y'all not keeping focus on the wins. Oh, well, my player got his yards. My player played enough. But damn, I live in Atlanta. Okay? We spend billions of dollars on stadiums. I'm saying. I got to go over here. My coach is getting ready to do a press conference. I got to go watch this. To talk about somebody about to be depressed. Because I'm going to tell you, we got the most optimistic coach out there. Young guy, right? Went to the Super Bowl 2 years after getting hired, which is, kind of a publicity thing. That's apparently what the NFL does. New coaches, new stadiums go to Super Bowl. So, I'm just saying, somebody's out there compiling the data, and the data don't look good. Everybody sound like, what they call it now, week 0. Everybody looks good at week 0. Everybody knows preseason don't matter. Preseason does matter. Preseason tell everybody how you recruited. Okay? Your recruits, because These people have played football as far as I know. Now I'm getting on the bandwagon, and this is how I feel. This I got to go show my face because I done got on this bandwagon. And they're like, Yolanda, you've been in Atlanta for 50 years. You ain't never been a Falcon fan. I ain't. But I was trying this year. And I feel like this at preseason. They were like, well, you shouldn't feel like that at preseason. Not the way. I'm mad because we supposed to do some highly technical recruiting. You know, and the only reason I said I would get on the bandwagon because I like me some Dan Quinn. I like my man. He a hip hop playing. He does them crunches. You know, I'm just saying. He look good in his pants. The man does the crunches, but I like him because I was like, man, that is the most. I watched him over the last couple of seasons. I'm like, that is the most optimistic because I love optimism. And I'm like, and I love every time he would get to the mic and he would have this. I'm like, first of all, he got this calmness about him, you know. Of course, we need him and I need he and Matt Ryan. I saw a little bit of that street cred by trying to get Matt Ryan to do. I saw a little bit of it, but I'm just saying we need him and Matt Ryan turn it up a notch because you know this Atlanta we turn up right on anything, right? People over there turn up because they can get those chicken sandwiches. I'm just saying. But I love me some Dan Quinn because he is the most optimistic. I'm going to get off of here so I don't miss the press conference. I'm going to watch it online. And he would always, no matter where we were, he would always, get us ready. Hey, next game, we got one more game. We got another game. We got another chance. We got another opportunity. He would always have, I don't know how he get down in the locker room, but when he knew how to put that face on, keep them tickets selling, keep us, hell, Atlanta Falcons have kept the city optimistic to this point, So, but then I noticed this year he sounded a little bit different. He sounds a little bit different because I know, I don't know if Arthur Blank, I'm sorry, my eyes roll so hard when I say Arthur Blank's name. But anyway, optimism. Find it, y'all. Find something to be optimistic about. I'm gonna write that down. Even if you just realize, and I can't spell when I'm talking, even if you just realize that you need to have your bitterness days. I myself have chosen 3 out of a 9-day cycle. I can only be bitter buzz 3 out of 9 days. Catch me on those 3 days, hey, I don't know what to tell you because I'm mad. And it's okay to be mad because there is too much in this world happening again and again that should make us mad. There's enough to make us mad. But at the same time, we can be optimistic. Sharing, start sharing, share aloud. It's going to get you beyond your fear. It's going to help you stop being afraid. It's going to get you to a point of trust. Sharing helps you become more determined because you're trying to figure out what to put out there. It will help you get beyond FOMO because what you're going to do is you're going to fill that space where there is this echo telling you need to feel that way. Let me tell you, you're going to well, I don't know that I want you to be comfortable. I don't know that I want you to stay in that comfort zone. I want you to come out of that comfort zone and recognize that it is human nature to be bitter about some things. But you will find that once you start recognizing those times when you are bitter, that more often than not, you are optimistic. More often than not, you are optimistic. If you push that button, you might have pushed that button because you're bitter as hell. Like, how dare she have a daily podcast? Bring your bitterness ass on up in here. Because now you probably go, are you optimistic? Like, I got to catch this. I got to listen to this tomorrow. Wait, there's archives. Wait, did she say there was like a whole book 1 that had 90 episodes? I'm going to go over here to my favorite podcast platform and I'm going to follow. Or you may get like a few people like, man, how do I support this? How do I become one of those sponsors like supporters like Natural Soap by Zakia? You can go, listen. One thing I do each and every day, I know some of y'all are having some questions about when you should bathe, what parts of your body you should bathe. Listen, you start using Natural Soap by Zakia, you're going to realize you need that time every day. I'm telling you, you need that time every day. You like the way your skin's going to glisten every day. You like that natural scent that you're going to have every day. You need that quiet time in your shower or in your bath, whichever one is your favorite thing to do. You need that every day, and you want to do it naturally. You want to do it with handcrafted, artisan, handmade, natural soap that's got all those natural butters up in there, that cocoa butter, that palm oil, that all those natural oils and what they call natural scents and all those kind of things and all those different varieties. And then you want to carry it over to your lotion, and you want to rub your lotion on and not have to go wipe your hands off because it naturally went all into your skin, right? I'm just saying, you like a bath bomb, you want a crumb, you like the bubble crumb. I'm just saying. Natural Soap by Zakia, there's a discount code for you. Y'all, let me tell y'all out there talking about your friends don't share your stuff, because you probably don't say, hey, listen, I'm a friend, I share. I get a nice friend box, and it's got all kind of stuff in there. I'm telling you, friends share, okay? And your friends don't share because you don't never say this part right here. Use your discount code. Use your friends and family discount code DryerBuzz and save 10%. That's the part you leave off. That's why your friends don't share. Because you don't support them. Let me tell you, your friends don't support your business. Your business supports your friends. Your family don't support your business. Your business supports your family. And if you just say what, then you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. I'm telling you, this podcast supports my friends and my family. All right, speaking of family, eyelashher.com. If you are coming to Atlanta, rolling to Atlanta, in Atlanta, all around Atlanta, and you're not blinking with the greatest lashes ever, eyelashher.com. You're going to meet eyelashher.com on October the 19th as we take the family business. The family business will be at the chili cook-off in Douglasville. It's the fall. It's the best event to kick off the fall season that happens in Douglasville, Georgia, right outside Atlanta. Our family business will be there. It's a chili cook-off, so we will have In the Kitchen with DryerBuzz. I'm coming up with the greatest chili recipe. I'm talking about that good homemade chili recipe. Y'all seen me make that sauce. Y'all seen me make the best tomato sauce ever. We're gonna take that same tomato sauce we put in that lasagna that went viral. We're gonna take that sauce and we're gonna make the greatest chili ever, y'all. Y'all want to come to the table because apparently we gotta have 20 gallons of this chili. So you want to come. It's a taste test. You basically buy your tickets and you come and taste. It's October the 19th in downtown Douglasville. Look for our booth, our table, Eyelash Her with In the Kitchen with DryerBuzz. And the third part of the family business is DJ Bobby, DJ B and Bobby. So definitely that's Granddad. Granddad. My dad is a DJ still. Granddad. DJ Granddaddy. Dad been DJing all his life and he's still DJing, so he's gonna be out there. Might have a little bit of sounds in our booth, depending on what they allow. I don't know, but anyway, we will have some sound because it's gonna be the most awesome thing. So the family business is going there. Let me talk about supporting your friends. Get ready because it's time for a reunion, y'all. It's time for our reunion with Dealy Inspires. If you watch, because and let me tell you where one source of your FOMO may come from. You may have seen me sharing video and pictures. Last year, we had the most awesome and amazing Lunch and Learn where Desiree Lee, Dealy Inspires Authors in Business. She is the Amazon Whisperer. If you have a book or any product for that matter, and you're trying to master Amazon, she is the Amazon Whisperer. Go and check out her timeline. Go to her website, dealyinspires.com. Getting ready to have a reunion event with her, especially as we get ready to kick off. I got so many books I've started over here. But I want to talk about mastering Amazon. And you know why you need to master Amazon right now, because the holiday season is coming up. So when I get off this podcast, I'm going to get with D. Lee and we're going to get ready to do a brunch, maybe a brunch, breakfast, lunch, one of those, and come back together and let you guys know. Let's get ready to master Amazon for this holiday. So she is the Amazon Whisperer, whether it's publishing, if you're doing a membership, if you want to do one of those boxes. Last year, the best advice she gave us was on the, what do you call them? Subscription boxes. And when I talk about Natural Soap by Zakia, I get a subscription box, which has everything in there, all of her new creations and so forth. So let me tell you. So stay tuned for that. We are finalizing that. Turns out it happened this month last year. So we want to do that as well. So let me take some of these things off here. And how to keep up with all of this, You keep up with all of this because all you got to do is go to DryerBuzz.com. I started this podcast asking you guys if you want this, because we flow at different times depending on when I wake up. But going into, as the season gets ready to change, as everybody's getting back to their routines, I'm thinking about 8 o'clock Eastern time. Right now we're still on Eastern Standard Time. Time's going to fall back soon. But I'm thinking 8 a.m. I'm thinking 8 a.m. I don't think there's anything that, I think in and around there, I'm usually ready to talk. First thoughts of the morning, frog in my throat, and so forth, and so on. Again, if I could not acknowledge you, but I will go. I'm going to the comments like right now. But the order of the day is recognize, and it's okay. Recognize your bitter moments. They're okay. In fact, you need them. You need to check yourself. You need to check others. And if it looks like bitterness, that's okay, because that's going to let you know that you are out of your comfort zone. But what you need to bring out of that comfort zone with you is some of that optimism. And so I want you to check yourself today. If there's so much echoing in your head, I want you to begin to fill that space. And you fill the space with optimism. You fill the space with optimism. Because guess what? If you had the breath of life today, you got nothing but choices. You got nothing but opportunity. All you got to do is throw that cover back, swing that leg over, and just start by just standing up. And start sharing, let people know where you are. Because if you don't let people know where you are, if I didn't trust that man to say, when he said, ma'am, do you need, if I didn't trust to just go ahead and say, listen, I got to get this done. He was like, well, they're closed. He was like, well, let me see he took a picture. He's like, I'll handle this. Let's deal with this tomorrow. Right? If I didn't trust those two strangers that came out of nowhere, man, I'd be sitting here right now. I'd be hella bitter. I'd be like you. I'm missing out. My world would have been shook. Right? Now I quickly would have found, because I'm a woman, I quickly would have found a solution. In fact, I had a solution in that moment. I was thinking, don't think I wasn't thinking ahead. I was thinking on the next. But what I said was trust this month. No, we ain't got to have a plan B. We ain't got to trust this moment, girl. Go ahead. And let me tell you, and I knew driving over there, I'm like, I ain't gonna make it in time. Go anyway. I literally all the way go anyway. Because I needed to prove to myself that I wasn't gonna procrastinate no more. I'm gonna go anyway. I went anyway. They were destined to be closed when I got there. But I'm like, I'm going all the way over there. I kept trying to find that plan B or that excuse or how to deal with it if it don't go. I was setting all that stuff up. And I was like, no, just trust this moment. Trust all that you believe, subscribe to. Girl, trust God, okay? I'm like, honey, I rolled up in that parking lot and I stood in that parking lot. I was like, you're not going to have no breakdown. And I took that breath and I was like, and I let it out. I need this to work out right now. Ma'am, I swear to you, y'all, I said it. I need this to work out right now. Ma'am, are you trying? Yes. It was like, okay. And he literally shushed me with everything that was getting ready to pour out of me. He's like, shh, let me see your key. Boom. Okay, we're going to deal with this tomorrow. And I'm saying to myself, don't procrastinate. Don't procrastinate. Come on back. Deal with it tomorrow. I'm telling you, because I'm procrastinating, y'all. I'm bad with this thing. But things will get done. I'm like, things will get done. And it wasn't in my hand. It wasn't in my hands to do it. I thought it was. I needed to put it in somebody else's hands. All right. Sharing, allow, fear, afraid, trust, determine, echo, feel the space, comfortable, comfort zone, bitterness, optimism. That's how we're going to end. We ended on our supporters. I need you to do me one more favor. Just one more favor. And you'll catch some more of this if you do this.
Go now to DryerBuzz.com and follow @DryerBuzz on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's all about the buzz.